Today I would like to show you about the power of compounding interest. Before we get started, I would really like to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. It will help me to be able to provide you more content like this in the future. In this video, I want to show you the power of compounding interest. Now, Einstein was quoted as saying, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it." So I would like to help you understand it so that you can earn it rather than pay it. Now, in this scenario, I have two different interest rates that I want to show you. I'm going to be assuming somebody is putting $2,000 per year aside into some sort of a savings or investment account. And in one scenario, they're going to be earning 5% on that money. And in the other scenario, they're going to be earning 10%. I'm also going to be assuming that each year they increase the amount that they're saving by 2.5% just to keep up with inflation. Now the numbers, these return numbers that I'm talking about, they track the S&P 500, at least the 10% one does. So that is assuming a little more of an aggressive approach. And then a 5% would be showing you something that is much more conservative, such as CDs or bonds or something like that. Whereas the S&P is investing it in the stock market. But I'm going to show you what the difference is at the end of the day between those two. So let's just assume you start this when you're 25, and here you can see you're putting your $2,000 away per year, and you can see the growth. You can see what your account balance is becoming. You can see that after only 10 years, you already have $28,000 in that account. But then at 45, you have $80,000. This is the power of compounding interest. And at the end of 40 years, you'll have $350,000. Now this is the account that is earning 5% annually on its rate of return. So let's take a look at what the same money would do invested in a 10% rate of return account, such as the S&P 500. So you can see over here, same amount, you're putting the $2,000 in. And let's see if we can see these both at the same time here. So now at the age of 35, in this scenario, you can see you have $37,000 versus the $28,000 that you had here. You're thinking, well, that's not a dramatic difference. But look what happens when you get down to the age of 45. You have $135,000 versus $81,000. That's starting to become a little bit more of a difference. Now that's after only 20 years of the growth. Now if we scroll down here to the bottom of the page, it becomes crazy once you get past that 20 years. You can see that we have over $1 million saved by just putting $2,000 a year for 40 years at 10% versus $350,000 when you're only earning 5%. So that is more than triple the amount of money just by adjusting the rate of return. So the bottom line is you want to invest as aggressively as you feel comfortable. Now, I don't suggest you go off and start buying all these sketchy tech stocks or investing in some sketchy cryptocurrency in order to get ridiculous returns. I'm just talking about putting in something that's more reliable, like the S&P 500 versus a CD or a bond or a savings account. That's really the only difference here. Now, on the flip side of all this, you have to think about if you are paying a loan at these different rates, how much more you would be paying on one hand versus the other. So that's the flip side of it. And that's where Einstein was talking about he who doesn't understand compounding interest is paying it. So I wanted you to see the difference just in what your rate of return can be, or the amount of the interest difference, how that can affect the overall dollar amount in the account. I hope you found this helpful. Please leave a comment letting me know what other videos you would like to see me do. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.